Thank you everyone for joining this event. So once again, a final introduction for the University of Liverpool Online. Here with us tonight, we have Ben Piper. He's the head of marketing for the online programs. Welcome, Ben, and thank you for being here with us.
Hi, Lavinia. Great to be with you this evening. Yeah, lovely to be here. Thank
you so much, Ben. Then we have Stephen Livesey. He's the Director of Learning Technology. Welcome, Stephen.
Hello, thank you.
Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. And last but not least, we have Ruby Burns. She's the admissions advisor. Welcome, Ruby.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think we are all set to start. And once again, welcome to this online event in partnership with the University of Liverpool. As I mentioned, should you have any questions about the postgraduate online offer, feel free to pop your questions in the Q&A box or in the chat, and we'll be happy to take them. And of course, any other questions about the virtual learning environment or about the student life funding admission process, we are here to help you and just to give you more insight into what this university has to offer. Now, I would say without further ado, Wen, the floor is yours.
That's great. Thank you, Lavinia. I'll just move on my presentation and just say again, hello to everyone joining this evening, and thank you for joining this webinar with Docsity and the University of Liverpool. So I'm Ben Piper, the head of marketing for online programs with the university, and delighted to be joined in this webinar by Stephen Livesey, our Director of Learning Technology, and Ruby Burns from our admissions team. So in terms of the agenda for the webinar, we're going to give you an overview into the online programs that are available to study on an online and part-time basis with the University of Liverpool. Stephen's going to give a short demonstration of the virtual learning environment to show you what that looks like from the student perspective, to give a little flavour of what it's like perhaps for a module or a week of study with the university. And Ruby's going to cover a few slides about the admissions and enrolment process. As Lavinia mentioned, there will be time for questions at the end of the session, but please do put those into the Q&A or the chat as we go along. We're happy to take those questions at the end of the session. And if we run out of time, we will endeavour to get back to people after the session as well. Just a little bit about the University of Liverpool then. So the university is a very well respected UK university. It's a founder member of what's called the Russell Group, which is a group representing the top 24 universities in the UK, and its strengths in many areas, including in health, computer science and management. The university's got a significant number of international students studying on campus, but also a significant number of online students as well. I think at the last count, it was well over 10,000 students from 160 different countries that have been studying online with the University of Liverpool. It's often ranked within the top 200 universities worldwide, and it's a significant, I suppose, network of alumni, 219,000 in over 171 countries. So in summary, a very well established UK university with a very, I suppose, good track record in many subject areas and many notable attributes there to the university. In terms of the online master's programs offered by the University of Liverpool, they really are designed to work around you as a part-time postgraduate student, obviously likely an international student, so we have many UK students studying on our courses as well. So the courses are studied with us on a part-time and online basis, 100% online in terms of the programs we'll be talking about this evening. You do have the opportunity to engage with the materials in your own time through the virtual learning environment that Stephen will show you in a few minutes' time. There are one or two synchronous or live sessions, but they're not usually compulsory for you, although a good opportunity for you to engage with other students in those sessions. We do try to make these programs, I suppose, flexible to some degree around your life and your personal commitments. We do have a strong student community at Liverpool and try to ensure that the online students have a good level of engagement with their fellow students and teaching staff. The course materials are developed especially for the online environments. The programs are very much more than just a flat reading list. They're really interactive, they're challenging, they're engaging, and there's a very high level of support from our academic team and our student services team as well to ensure that students who take our online programs are going to be successful in their studies. Students who complete the program successfully do graduate from the University of Liverpool. awarded the Liverpool postgraduate degree certificate, just the same as a student who would be attending a similar programme on campus. So you do become part of the Liverpool alumni and global community on graduation from the programme. So just the same as you would taking a programme of a similar nature, but on campus. We currently offer programmes in 6 broad subject areas, and you can see those on the slide on the screen at the moment. The subject areas being business and management, computer science, education, law, medicine and health sciences, and psychology. Our portfolio is growing all the time, so if there's perhaps not a programme at the moment to sort of look at our website or prospectus, do sort of check back next year, and in the coming months we are releasing more courses on a regular basis. But these are the sort of 6 broad subject areas that we currently offer online and part-time programmes within. Just worth mentioning as well, we do offer different postgraduate awards for our online programmes. We offer often the postgraduate certificate, which is worth 60 credits and will take around 10 months of study to complete on a part-time and online basis. Many programmes also have postgraduate diploma and indeed full master's award levels as well. So the postgraduate diploma takes around 20 months to complete and is worth 120 credits at master's level. And our full master's programmes, our MAs, MScs, take around 30 months to complete on a part-time basis and are worth 180 credits in total. The difference between a diploma and the full master's award often being you would complete a dissertation as the last part of the programme to get the full master's award. So we do offer different awards. Different study lengths are applicable to those awards. So please do have a look at the website and prospectus to see which awards are available for which programmes, but just to sort of point that out as a point of interest for you as well. Starting with the first subject area that we offer programmes in business and management, I'll just talk a little bit about some of the sort of highlights of the programmes here to give you a flavour of things, but just to say that the courses we're sort of really hoping this area will address many of the career aspirations that you might have at a postgraduate level in the business and management subject area. The university's management school is triple accredited by the international bodies AMBER, the AACSB and DEQUIS, and these bodies all recognise that the programmes are current, they're properly resourced and have a very strong academic foundation. And we currently offer programmes in digital marketing, in finance and investment management, healthcare leadership, international human resource management. There's also our MBA programme, project management and sports business and management. Just to pick out a few highlights, our management programme is designed to give you the opportunity and skills necessary to work within a global corporate environment. The curriculum of that programme covers areas such as business analysis, financial management, people management, leadership and change resilience. Our digital marketing programme has been designed in consultation with industry employers. The content of that programme is designed to equip students to be effective digital marketing professionals who would like to take on a managerial role, if not already operating at that level. Our human resource management programme recognises that organisations of all sizes, whether multinational or not, are increasingly operating in an international and globalised environment. So the programme is really designed for graduates who will be advancing an existing role in HR management, or indeed looking to move into such a role in the future. Touching on our sports business and management programme, that particular course recognises that the sport and the corporate world have become increasingly intrinsically intertwined. Sports obviously now a huge global business. Administrators within sports organisations have very, very broad remits, often perhaps needing to administer things across many different disciplines, maybe organising things on a local, national, or even kind of global level. So in that programme, students will learn from experts within sports business organisations and from sports business backgrounds, and be well placed to progress their careers into managerial and leadership positions in organisations by taking that particular programme. Entry requirements do differ per course. Some programmes, as I mentioned, are perhaps more designed around somebody already working in the environment looking to progress their career. For example, the MBA programme is really designed for people who've got several years of significant leadership and management experience behind them already, but some of the programmes are very much aimed at people who want to move into that particular area in the future. So do look closely at the website, the prospectus, and speak with our admissions team if you're unsure perhaps about your suitability for any particular programme. We do try to be clear on the website and prospectus about the entry requirements and who the programmes are suitable for and what you can hope to get out of them as well. But obviously it'll be part of the conversation I'm sure that you might have with our admissions team. And do put questions into the chat and Q&A if there's anything specifically you'd like to ask in this session, just giving you a very quick overview over the course of these slides. In terms of our computer science programs, we offer a number of courses in this subject area: artificial intelligence, big data analytics, computer science, cybersecurity, data science and artificial intelligence, and information systems management. It's worth me pointing out here that 2 of these programs, as you can see on the slide, are called conversion programs, and these are courses that are designed for people who've not got a first degree or significant background in computer science but are looking to move into this area going forwards in their career. The other programs, such as artificial intelligence, stand alone, and more specialist programs designed for people already working within computer science or looking to specialize in that particular discipline. So as I say, we do offer a couple of conversion programs for those without a pre-existing background, but also some specialist programs in this subject area as well. In terms of the programs, again, to pick out a few highlights, the artificial intelligence program will give you the skills needed to develop, design, and evaluate intelligent systems for a wide range of purposes. The big data analytics program provides you with a comprehensive understanding of both the technology that supports big data analytics and also the practical application of this technology in the context of business information and real-world problems. The cybersecurity programs, again, one of our specialist programs, which are designed to help you develop the technical and problem-solving skills to tackle the broad range of cybersecurity challenges that modern organizations are facing. Our data science and AI program is always popular. It does include the ability to choose a number of modules to tailor that program to areas that might interest you more, such as robotics or machine learning. And again, our website and course booklets do give a good detail or a good dive into the detail of each of the programs in terms of the content, learning outcomes, entry requirements, etc. Do ask questions in the chat and Q&A as we kind of get to the end of the session. We'll look to answer those. But just to say, we do offer quite a broad range of courses in this subject area as well. For students who are working in the academic field, we also offer our academic practice program. This is designed for those who work in higher education, or also perhaps those looking to move into teaching in higher education in the future as well. We have a number of, I suppose, awards available for academic practice. The PG CAP or Postgraduate Certificate Award, Postgraduate Diploma, and then the Full Masters or MA Award. The PG certificate's got 2 pathways depending on a student's background. For those who don't hold a substantive teaching position in higher education already, the first pathway is a route to gaining that postgraduate certificate, and then you progress on to the postgraduate diploma and full masters. It provides an excellent grounding in the theory and practice of teaching and supporting learning in higher education in a global context. For students who already are holding a substantive teaching position in higher education, our postgraduate certificate has a second pathway that's open to you, which also enables you to gain a fellowship of the Higher Education Academy Advanced HE, which is the UK's foremost agency for driving change and excellence in higher education. It's an opportunity if you have got substantive experience already in higher education. There's a second PG CAP pathway that allows you to gain a fellowship of the Higher Education Academy alongside your postgraduate certificate studies. So that's worth sort of bearing in mind if this is a particular program that's interesting you in the academic field. The program is very much based around cohort learning, as indeed all our programs are. So students do sort of really learn from each other. And also there's an opportunity, I think on this program, it's fair to say, to sort of focus on very collaborative activities that really sort of embed that sort of best practice in terms of developing, I guess, excellence and leadership in a HE, higher education context. Our law offering is quite small at the moment, but it is a new subject area that we only launched over the summer. So the idea is we'll offer more programs in this area in the future. At the moment, our first program, which has an intake in January, is our International Business Law LLM program. And this program is specifically designed for graduates from quite diverse disciplines, as well as legal professionals who've already got some practical, commercial and business experience, but who want to develop their career within the legal profession, business environment or wider financial services sector. It's also a great program for non-law graduates or those whose first degree is from a civil law jurisdiction, because the program will provide a good foundation of the common law legal system with specific focus on the commercial environment. So it's a new subject area and quite a new program for us, but may well be of interest for those looking to take a program in this particular subject area. We have a couple of programmes here under our medicine and health sciences subject area. You might have perhaps realised that healthcare leadership was also listed under the business and management subject area. And the reason for that is because this particular programme has been developed jointly between our management school and our School of Medicine and Health Sciences. The Master of Public Health programme is quite different in nature from healthcare leadership, so do again look at the website and prospectus quite carefully. But just to again pick out a few highlights, the healthcare leadership programme is a great combination of health and management principles. The programme is designed for individuals working in the health sector who want to augment their leadership, management and knowledge of organisational structures to develop their careers and practice. And as we do know, the public health is a really important area, particularly considering the recent pandemic, as well as addressing longer term issues relating to health populations. And the healthcare, Master Public Health programme really does consider both communicable diseases such as viruses and non-communicable health issues, such as those related to diet, social context and wider cultural issues. We know that obviously these areas are very, very fast growing in terms of not only, employment opportunities, but with health just being such an important issue in the sort of current environment and modern world. So two quite rapidly expanding programmes that always have good interest and strong intakes, healthcare leadership and Master of Public Health under our medicine and health sciences section. In terms of psychology, the last subject area that I'm going to talk about in this part of the presentation, we currently offer 3 online programmes in this particular discipline. Obviously, a background in psychology is useful for a very wide range of careers directly in the field and in other areas as well. Our mental health psychology programme will help guide your career into this field by providing you with the key knowledge and foundations of general psychology and also key areas of mental health as well. Our organisational and business psychology programme focuses on behaviours within the workplace. The programme will help you develop critical awareness and application of psychology theory and principles to a range of real-world workplace and organisational settings. And the skills and understanding will really empower you to enhance modern-day organisational effectiveness and to support employee well-being as well. So that programme, I'd say more perhaps appropriate and applicable to people from a HR background, but also open to people just have an interest in getting into the field in the first place as well. Lastly, our psychology programme is another one of our conversion programmes. So a programme designed for somebody who doesn't already have a first degree in the area of psychology already. Just to point out, the psychology conversion programme is accredited by the British Psychological Society, the BPS. And successfully completing this programme, you will meet the requirements for graduate basis of chartership with the British Psychological Society. This is perhaps more applicable to anybody watching this webinar from within the United Kingdom, but it is sort of the first step towards becoming a chartered psychologist within the United Kingdom by successfully completing our psychology conversion programme. Just to say more information on all of the programmes I've touched on very, very quickly there, all the subject areas, all the programmes you can see on the website. There's the option to download a prospectus from our website and also programme booklets. Any difficulties, our admissions team are also available. You can contact them through the website, through the live chat, the contact form on the contact page. I believe there's an email address on the website as well. So our admissions team are also a really invaluable source of information about the online programmes, can share booklets with you, can give you advice over the phone, over email, and also put you in touch with academic colleagues if there are perhaps deeper questions maybe about the content of programmes that they would be able to sort of pass on and get answers for. They're sort of happy and can facilitate that as well. So obviously a very whistle-stop tour of things, an overview of things in this webinar, but just to say more information is available with the admissions team on the website, prospectus, programme booklets, and we're happy to share some of those links in the chat towards the end of this session as well, Lavinia. So that's a very quick overview just of the university, the subjects and programmes on offer. In this next part of the presentation, Stephen's going to give a demonstration of the virtual learning environment to give you hopefully a flavour of what it's like to take part in the study experience with the university. So Stephen, if it's okay, I'll pass over to you to share your screen.
That's great. Thanks, Ben. Can you see my screen okay? Is that give me the thumbs?
We can, yes.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ben. So thanks for your time this afternoon or this evening or this morning, wherever you are joining us today. This part of the presentation is to hopefully give you a bit of an insight into what it's like to study the online programs that Ben went through there in this part of the presentation. So I'm logged into the learning platform as a demo student. I'll have a look at the platform. I'll go into a few of the resources and just talk a little bit about how we deliver the learning and the modules to students in our online environment. The first thing to note is that you have access to this central virtual learning environment from the beginning of your program, and it's one place to access everything you'll need for your program. So that could be everything from the assignment questions, the reading lists, learning materials, your grade and feedback, everything through one platform. There are other technologies that plug in depending on what program you're studying, but it's one central space for you to access everything you need. You also have access to the University of Liverpool online library, where you can access hundreds of thousands of amazing journal articles, ebooks, and so on. And we do curate that content for you, so we don't just give you access to everything and leave you to it. We'll direct you at the right point in each program to give you guidance along the way. But for this presentation, I'm going to go into one of our computer science programs. So first of all, I'll go into the student dashboard. So every student has their own dashboard space. This is where you can access the modules that are part of your program. And for this demo, I'm going to go into this global trends in computer science. Now, the same principles and the same format applies to all our programs. So this is a computer science module. The same applies if you're considering a management or psychology or health. It doesn't really matter what the program is that I show you here today. So first of all, we've got a module homepage. This is where we introduce the module to students. So the learning outcomes, what you'd expect over the next 8 weeks. So this module is 8 weeks long. So in the center of the page here, you can see the module learning outcomes. On the left-hand side of the page, you've got some navigation. And we try and make this a really easy to navigate learning platform. So you're only ever a couple of clicks away from the resources that you're looking for or the activity that you're supposed to be taking part in. And I'll go into some of those in just a second. It's probably also worth noting that not only do you have access to this learning environment, you also have access to a wide range of support services that support you throughout your program. So that could be our student support team who are there to help you with any questions you might have about your program structure. Perhaps you need to take a study break. Perhaps you're not sure what your next module is. We have student welfare teams. We have career services. So you can take advantage of all those services. And again, they can be accessed through the learning platform. And you might notice as I work around some of these pages, on every page, I have the support tab in the bottom right-hand corner. So from any page on the platform, you can search for help and support depending on what you're looking for. So it could be that you're looking for guidance on how to contribute to a discussion forum. You can search the knowledge base, and then you'll find the relevant articles. No matter which page you're on, the support is always there and to help you along the way. Okay, so back to the module. On the left-hand side, I'll go through some of these navigation pages now. So the first one to look at is the lecturer office. Each module is supported by a lecturer. This is an academic lead in the module, and their role is to support you with any academic queries you might have about the module content, perhaps about the assignments, and they're really an expert in that particular module. So any queries about the content or the assessment, you'll have a contact there to go to, a bit of a biography and some contact details as well. The lecturer will also provide you a grade and feedback on your assignments throughout the module. So they'll be the ones who will help you develop your skills throughout that taught module. Each module also has an additional resources section, and this area really is for any content that might sit around the weekly activities, the weekly reading, forums, and so on. So it could be that you need to use a piece of software. Maybe you need to do a presentation, and this is a space we'll say for additional resources that might support you, depending on what that particular module is about. Each module also has a schedule, so there'll be a clear start and end date for the module. And then throughout that module, there'll be milestones that are really important to the successful completion of the module. So these are normally the assessment points within the taught module. So in this example, we've got a discussion forum, that lasts for 3 weeks and a deadline for the end of the forum there. We then have a poster presentation and a deadline for when you're supposed to submit that poster presentation. There's another discussion forum, and then finally there's an essay. Now, each of these assessment points are an opportunity for you to demonstrate your understanding of the content, but also a great opportunity for you to work with your peers and your classmates in the online learning environment. So, for example, you'll find lots of discussion forums, lots of group projects within the program of study, and that really adds an extra element to the online programs, because you'll be studying with students from all around the world, from all sorts of amazing backgrounds, and that's really a component of online programs that's really valuable and something you can take advantage of. The variety of assessments also varies. So here you can see there's 3 different types. There's a forum, a presentation, and an essay, but it could be in the next module that we ask you to write a report. Maybe on a computing program, you'd be expected to do some programming or some coding. It could be more of a reflective piece, so a journal entry. It really depends on what the module learning outcomes are and what the assessment model might be. But the main thing is really, we don't just give you one big essay at the end or perhaps one exam at the end. We break up that assessment because it's really important that you receive feedback throughout the module, so you can develop your understanding over the 8 weeks rather than have to wait until week 8 to submit one piece of assessment. You're kind of constantly being assessed by the lecturer throughout the module. The next page is a seminar timetable. So Ben mentioned live sessions in his presentation. These are not in all the modules and not in all the programs, but some modules have some synchronous live sessions. We use Zoom to deliver these live sessions. Now, on all the programs apart from the MBA, I'll talk about the MBA in just a second, these sessions are optional. So if you can't attend a live session, that's absolutely fine. We record all those live sessions, and you can catch up on the recording at your convenience if you couldn't attend the live seminar. But they are a good opportunity to meet the tutor, to meet your fellow students and engage in a live environment, but they are optional. On the MBA, there is a requirement, because the MBA is AMBER accredited, so there is a requirement for a certain amount of synchronous hours attendance throughout the program, and so attendance at the live sessions would be required on the MBA program, but on the other programs it's optional. Okay, and then I'll take a look at some content next. So this module is broken up over 8 weeks of study, and each week we present students with a topic. So you can see here, this is the first week of the program, Trends in Computer Science. We've got some introductory text, some learning outcomes for the week, so what you'd expect to learn in week 1. And then as I scroll down the page, you can see we've got a list of activities, a sequence of activities for students to complete. So I'll go into a few of these now just to give you a sense of what the content looks like. So the first activity is a lecture cast. The lecture cast is an online version of a lecture. So instead of giving students, one maybe 2 hour long PowerPoint presentation, which is, in one piece of video, perhaps, that would be quite a passive experience for the students. Instead, what we do is break that content up into smaller pieces, and we present that to students in a variety of formats. So it could be that you get some video, some text, maybe some animation, audio, and then a short activity to complete, so that you're engaged. It's an active learning experience rather than a passive kind of traditional lecture. And it looks something like this. So we start the lecture, we've got some intro text. And actually the lecturer has remembered where I was up to last time I did this demo. So I remembered that I watched the first step and now I'm on step 2, but I'll go back to the beginning. So in step 1, we've got a piece of video here. I'll just play this for a few seconds, but I'm gonna mute the audio, so you can't hear the audio in the background there. But there's an audio narration running over the back of this video, and we might use stock images, we might use animation on the screen, could be some text. It depends what the content's about for how we present it. The main thing is that we try and make it nice and clear for students what the message of the video is. It's easy for students to work through that content. You'll also see that there are transcripts of all the video content as well. And then as I work on to, let's say I finish watching that video, I work onto the next page, and here we've got a slightly different format. So here we've got some text on the screen with some images, and this example, some kind of timeline. The variety of activities is varied. So it could be that you have a drag and drop activity, maybe some kind of interactive chart or workflow. It really just depends on what the content is about. The main thing is that there's variety of the format of the content, and then at regular points, there's the opportunity for you to engage with that content. So here you can see at the end of the first section, we have a check your knowledge activity. And it's just going to be a quick quiz. They could be true or false questions. I don't know the answer to these questions, but you can see it also gives you feedback. If you get a question wrong, that's absolutely fine. It'll give you some feedback. It could be fill in the blank. It could be drag and drop. There's a wide variety of activities. The main thing is that it's asking students to engage with that material rather than just sort of sit back and watch a video. So that's a lecturecast. You expect a lecturecast more or less every week to introduce the main topics for that week of study. And then what I could do is I could just do the first section of the lecture, and then perhaps I need to go to work or I need to do something else, and I can come back and pick this up in my own time. It's flexible how you engage with this content as well. You don't need to turn up at a certain hour of a certain day to engage with this. It's there available for you in the course materials. It's ready when you are ready to work through it. So that's a lecturecast. The other activities this week, again, it depends on what the module is about. In this example, we have a debate. So students are asked to vote on a particular topic, and then they contribute to a discussion forum to discuss that topic in more detail. So here you can see there's a bit of a word cloud, and then students would add to the discussion forum. Discussion forums are a great opportunity for students to engage with each other in an asynchronous environment. So this is really where the learning community comes in that Ben mentioned. You do really join this global learning community of students as you work through the content of the modules. If I go back to week one, we should also have a reading list this week. So the lecturecast really introduces the concepts for the week, but then this is master's level study. So we need to go away and do some deeper research into those topics. And what we will do is we'll recommend some reading to you. We'll also tell you why that reading is important. So rather than just give you a massive reading list, we'll curate that reading list for you. You know, perhaps there's some required reading, maybe some additional reading. But as an online postgrad student, you can also go and dig deeper into topics that might be more relevant to you, perhaps more relevant to your career goals or your current goals and so on. So a clear reading list each week. And then I think the final activity this week, we go back to week one, we have an assessed discussion forum. So here again, we've got another discussion forum. This is actually assessed. So after the 3-week period, I would get a grade and feedback from my lecturer. And throughout the 3 weeks, I'd also be getting feedback from my classmates in the forum who will be responding to my posts, and you will be responding to their posts. Again, really good community activity there, which carries a weight in the grade book. And then back to week one, the final activity is a technology blog. So in this example, we've asked students to contribute to a technology blog. But it could be that there's a different type of activity. It could be a seminar. There's a wide variety. It could be some group work. It just depends on what the module is about. So you can see there's regular activities to engage with. It's nice and hopefully it's nice and clear and simple for students to engage with that material and work through the weeks of study. And as you build through your program of study, these modules build up and you build your understanding of that program of study through the same environment all the way through your program. So hopefully that gives you a sense of what it's like for a student. I'll stop sharing my screen now and hand back control to Ben.
Thanks, Stephen. I'll take that back. I can see one or two questions came in relating to your area, but I think we'll pick those up at the end. But I'll pass on to Reeve for this next section of the presentation. So can you see my screen again?
We can, yes.
Yeah. That's great. So thank you, Reeve. If it's okay, I'll pass over to you just for a few minutes to talk through the admissions and application process.
Perfect, thank you, Ben. So I'm just going to be talking about how to apply to the online programs and how to start your student journey with us. So if we can just go to the next slide, please. Thank you. So the next steps on how to apply and submit an application is by doing this on the website. So you can use the link on this slide as well if you are ready to apply. And we would just need a few documents. So we would need your ID, your CV, your degree certificates and translations if necessary, a personal statement of around 300 to 500 words, and evidence of English language. So this can be in the form of an IELTS or TOEFL test, and we can sometimes consider school certificates over a certain grade. And if you don't have any of the above, we can set you up on a free online English test called KITE as well. So I would just inquire with admissions if you are unsure on that as well. And the next slide, please, Ben. Thank you. So the admissions process usually begins when a student submits an inquiry about the programme they're interested in. And once you've submitted the inquiry, you'll be assigned a dedicated admissions advisor who you'll be able to ask your queries to about the programme before you do submit an application. So it is free to apply, and you can apply through the application form on the website. Once you've applied and all documents have been received and reviewed by the admissions team, your application will then be ready to submit for review with the Director of Studies, which usually takes up to 10 working days for us to receive an outcome on the application. If the outcome is successful, you will be notified by your admissions advisor with the good news, and you'll be issued an offer letter. So you should accept the offer and pay the deposit within 14 days of receipt in order to be enrolled onto the programme. And the next slide, please. So the tuition fees for our online programmes do differ depending on which programme and level of qualification you're applying for. So if you're applying for a postgraduate award, this would be 30 credits and the duration is 5 months. The fees for 2022-23 will be $2,550. The PG cert is 60 credits, 10 months, and this will be £5,100. And the PG diploma, 120 credits, will be 20 months and £10,200. And the next slide, please. So for our master's programmes, these are all part-time and 30 months in duration, which are 180 credits each. So the fees are as follows. The Master of Science programme will be £15,300, along with our Master of Public Health, whereas the MBA will be £21,000. And all programmes can be paid for in monthly instalments as well. So the Master of Science would be in monthly instalments of £510, whereas the MBA would be in instalments of £700 per month. You would also receive a personalised payment plan with your offer letter, so that should all be clear to you as well. And the next slide, please. So we do have regional scholarships of up to 15% for international students based overseas in eligible countries. So if you would like to know if you're eligible for a further regional scholarship, you can just inquire with the admissions team and we can search this for you. So you can talk to us via live chat, submit an inquiry online, or give us a phone call as well, and we'll be happy to help you with that. We do have a 5% upfront payment discount for students who aren't paying in monthly instalments and would prefer to pay their fees upfront for the programme. And we also have a University of Liverpool alumni discount, which is an additional 10% off the programme fees as well. So you can inquire with us on that one as well. And next slide, please. Perfect. So if you do have any further questions, you can contact the admissions team through the University of Liverpool online website. We are available, as I say, through live chat, telephone, a contact form as well. And we do answer questions pretty swiftly. So if you do need any help at all, please just go to the contact us page.
Thank you so much, Vivi. Thank you so much, Ben, Stephen, for the presentation. Ben, would you like to add anything else, or can we move to the Q&A session?
I think perhaps the Q&A session, just looking at the time as well available, Lavinia, and I can see quite a few open in the Q&A and the chat, so it might be nice just to move across to the Q&A for this last part of things. I suppose also we can, if we run out of time or just for any reason perhaps can't answer a question live, can obviously take that away and come back to people with an answer later on as well. Happy to take anything away if we can't answer it within the time remaining.
Absolutely. So, of course, if any other participants have other questions, they are welcome to type them in the Q&A box. And as Ben mentioned, should we not be able to answer them all live, you will get an email with the recording of this event and also all the contact information to get in touch with the University of Liverpool online. So to move to the questions, I did take a couple of notes of questions that came through in the chat. So I would start from those just so we don't lose track of them. So a participant asked about any tax fee waivers for people with disabilities or best merit.
Yeah, Riva, would you be able to maybe say something about that particular question? I think it's a question that came in perhaps from Elena some time ago in the chat, as Lavinia mentioned.
Of course. So I don't believe we do any additional tax for disabilities or anything like that. You could inquire if you do live in the UK. I believe with Student Finance England, they do a disabled students allowance. So that might be something to look into if you are living in the UK. Regarding just the tax, we do have a goods and services tax, which is listed on the website as well for specific countries. So I would just have a look on the website if you are looking into tax as well.
Thank you so much, Rivi. So to move to the next question, a participant asked about the accreditation of your postgraduate programs. So will they be able to move, for example, to the next level of studies, to a PhD, based on the degrees acquired from the University of Liverpool?
Yeah, I think I saw that. I'd probably answer that in combination perhaps with Rivi. I think that came in from perhaps CK in the Q&A. Living to see that earlier. So obviously the programs are University of Liverpool masters programs. Some of the programs do have individual accreditations by other bodies as well. For example, a handful of our computer science programs are accredited by the British Computer Society. Our finance investment management program has an affiliation with the CFA Institute, the Chartered Financial Analyst Institute. So there are, for a number of programs, separate accreditations that apply to them as well, which should be clear, I would hope, in the website prospectus and program booklet, but the admissions team would be able to advise on that as well. But do look out for individual accreditations, which some of the programs do have. Not all of them, but some certainly do have other accreditations by industry bodies, etc. As well. So just hopefully that answered that one live. Rivi, would you perhaps be able to say, I mean, I'm happy to sort of take this as well, but you might like to say about proceeding perhaps to PhD studies, to further studies after completing a master's programme?
Yeah, of course. So in theory, you could progress to further qualifications or studies after the master's programme, as it is recognised as a master's degree. It is 180 credits. However, I would definitely advise to speak to the PhD provider directly about your eligibility with the specific master's programme, just as I'm unable to advise on that one.
Thank you, Rivi. I think there's also another question, Lavinia, again from CK, about providing dual qualifications. And I wasn't maybe sure how best to answer this, because it perhaps depends on exactly what the question means by dual qualifications. If it was, if my interpretation of it was to be, do we have programs that are perhaps two related subject areas together, then I would say yes, there are a number of programs like that. For example, our data science and artificial intelligence program would be an example of that. But I know there are also different definitions or perhaps meanings to dual qualifications. Perhaps if CJ could maybe put a follow-up question just to narrow that down if I've not answered that appropriately or accurately in that way. But I just thought I'd pick that one up as well, because I saw that the question came through together.
Thank you so much, Ben. Yes, perhaps they were referring also to any dual degrees, if there are any available for the master's programs. But absolutely, CK, if you can specify further your question, we will be glad to answer it. To move forward with the next questions, a participant is asking if all modules have synchronous seminars, and they are asking especially for the MSc management.
Yes, Stephen, sorry, did you want to?
Yeah, no, not all modules have synchronous seminars, no. I'd have to check on the MSc management to get that will be in the program specifications. but from memory, I don't think that does have many live synchronous sessions. It's the MBA program that has the majority of live synchronous sessions. The other programs might have a few, but not as many as the MBA.
Thank you so much, Stephen. So
Stephen.
a participant is asking if there are any other programs that you have not mentioned that are available online. Specifically, they are interested in a clinical course in dentistry at master's level.
Sadly, we don't offer a program in that discipline at the present time. So the ones that I've mentioned and given this very quick overview of this evening are the current programs that we offer. So as I mentioned, 6 sort of broad subject areas. And I think it's 20 programs in total at the moment, though the portfolio is growing all the time, but sadly not a program at the moment in that subject at the moment.
Thank you so much, Ben. So to move forward with the other questions, a participant is asking if the project management course is relevant for those continuing to work in the aid and in the international development fields, and if there is any master's program available or any certificate in the field or in project management.
I would say that as the question is very specific, I would be happy to direct that towards the Director of Studies and see if they have any advice on like future careers expected from the programme. But as Steve mentioned earlier, there would be a careers team on hand on the programmes as well if students do have any specific questions about going into a field after finishing the course.
Yeah, I'm trying to see that question myself in the chat, Lavinia. I know it's quite a broad program. It is a master's level program, but as you say, perhaps we could, if it's quite specific, reach out to the Director of Study to provide further clarification. I know people from many different industry sectors and backgrounds are taking that program. People in construction, people working in IT and engineering. I know it's a program that's been designed to be applicable to people working in a project management, I guess, role, looking to I guess, develop their expertise further in that discipline. It's not sort of limited to any one, I guess, industry specialism, but it might be that we can also provide a bit more information to this individual through the Director of Study, Lavinia.
Thank you so much, Ben. Thank you, Stephen and Vivi. So to move with the next questions, a participant is asking if the modules are delivered back to back or if there's a break in between successive modules.
Yes, Stephen, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, I can do. Yeah, there are breaks throughout the program, so it could be that you have a week or 2 weeks in between. There's normally there is a Christmas break over the holiday period over Christmas. Occasionally modules might go back to back, but normally there is a short study break in between those top modules.
Thank you so much, Stephen.
Lavinia, sorry, Lavinia, I did see a
Yeah.
couple of the questions that just asked because Stephen is there. I did see like a couple come through that might be applicable for him to answer, just with him taking the last one. There was just a couple on the back of your demonstration, Stephen, that I just sort of spotted in the chat. If it's okay, Lavinia.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Because someone asked Stephen, I suppose perhaps saw the bit about the reading list and the books and asking how do I access the books noted on the reading list if I can't access the sort of on-campus library in Liverpool. Somebody sort of put that in as a question.
So you have a single sign-on between the learning platform that we saw a second ago and the online library at the university. So we only point you to resources that are available online. So we wouldn't expect you to find any physical books. So you have access to that online library where there are hundreds of thousands of journal articles, books, conference papers, and so on. We also integrate with another platform, an ebook platform called Vital Source, where we give access to students. Normally, there could be a core text that runs through the whole module, and so we point students to that, and that allows students to make notes on their ebook. They can download the ebook and view it offline. They can highlight sections of text and so on, some really nice functionality on there. So we would direct you to the resources, but we'd also provide the facility to access them online using your University of Liverpool account, one account to access everything you need to access.
That's great. Thank you, Stephen. Sorry, Lavinia, I just saw that in the chat at the same time. You're on mute, Lavinia.
Oh, sorry. Of course, this happens. Thank you so much for the answer, Stephen. And of course, I would like to move forward with the remaining questions. So I did see a question about the English proficiency situation. So a participant is asking, they have been a resident in the UK since 2019, and they have pre-settled status. They studied economy in Romania, and they have 15 years experience working in the banking industry. So they are asking, I assume, if they are supposed to have an English proficiency certificate.
So I believe if they do have a UK passport, then they wouldn't need to submit any English evidence, or if their degree was studied in English as well, then they wouldn't need to submit any English evidence. But if they're unsure, they can inquire with the admissions team, and we can take a look at their documents that they do have as well, just to double check that for them.
Thank you so much, Ruby. So another participant is asking, what is the completion or the graduation rate for the Health Leadership Master's Program?
I would have to look elsewhere. I don't have those numbers to hand, Lavinia, but we can take that away and come back to that person.
Sure thing. So in the meantime, to move forward with the remaining questions, a participant is asking if you offer any DBA program or any PhD in educational administration.
Just maybe to add to that last answer, actually, must I still think, Lavinia, just I suppose assure people watching that we do not sort of put students on these programs to fail. We do want to see anyone who starts one of these online programs obviously succeed and progress to the end of their studies. So we do have a very strong level, I feel, of academic support and also student support that sort of runs alongside the taught aspects of the programs. Just sort of say that, but perhaps can come back and give me a bit of an answer to that specific question, but just to sort of say that I thought it was important perhaps to get that across, that we do our utmost to make sure that students are set for success when they come onto one of the online programs with us. In answer to that other question, a DBA program, not at the moment. We have an online MBA program, but we don't have a DBA program at the present time.
Thank you so much, Ben. So I do see some other questions, and of course, many of them are about the scholarship opportunities. So I think we could go back to the fees and scholarship or funding opportunities, just so we can perhaps give some people that might have joined later the chance to review the information live. So should they have any questions specifically about that?
Yeah, I can see a couple of those questions you mentioned in the Q&A actually, Lavinia. So maybe, Reeve, if you just want to give a recap about the possibility of scholarships for the online programs and how that works with the university.
Of course. So I can see that someone's asking specifically about scholarships for management programs. So we don't have any scholarships specific to programs, and we do offer regional scholarships. So that depends upon where you're currently living in the world. So we do have regional scholarships for international students, and we would just have to check if you are eligible. So if you would like to know if you're eligible for a regional scholarship, I would advise to get in touch with the admissions team via the contact us page, and we can let you know if you are eligible. And these are up to 15%. As well as regional scholarships, we also have a 5% upfront payment discount if you pay for your course in full. And we also have a 10% alumni discount for students who have studied at University of Liverpool prior as well.
Thank you so much, Ruby. So a participant is asking, once they have completed their Masters of Psychology online, would they be able to pursue a PhD on campus in the UK, as they are currently outside of the UK?
Again, I would advise that they, in theory, would be able to go on to do a PhD or further qualifications, but they would have to inquire with their PhD provider just to double check that their qualification would be okay to go on to do a PhD.
Thank you so much, Ruby. So to move to the last questions, a participant is asking if you offer any accreditations for the artificial intelligence master's degree?
I can't remember if that programme is one that's accredited by the British Computer Society or not, but I know several of our computer science courses have the BPS accreditation. Might have to perhaps refer that perhaps to you, Reeve, or the person to the website to double check. I thought we can get back to them. Perhaps we could respond outside of this session, Lavinia. I just forget exactly which one of our computer science programs have that BPS accreditation. But we'd have to perhaps respond to that person just separately on that one.
The artificial intelligence one doesn't, so it's not accredited, but there are a few that are. So I would advise to look at the website or inquire with the admissions team as well if you're looking for specific accreditations.
Thank you so much, Ben and Rudy. So to move to the next question, Julie is asking if the psychology conversion program is a MSc level program.
That's correct. I mean, I can take that one, or you can read it, but it is an MSc level program. That's correct. There is an MSc. It's an MSc award. We do have a PG cert and a PG diploma psychology available as well, but there is an MSc psychology conversion program, which is the BPS accredited program.
Thank you so much, Ben. So Mohammed is asking us if the University of Liverpool is offering a Master of Health Leadership and Management, and if there are any scholarships that come with this program.
Yeah, if you want to take this one, Reeve, obviously we do offer a healthcare leadership program, so I think we can say yes to the first part, but I'll let you.
We do, yes. So we offer a healthcare leadership and a management program as well. As I just said before, we don't have any specific scholarships for specific programs, but we do have regional scholarships. So I would just advise to inquire with the admissions team if you are looking for a regional scholarship and wondering your eligibility on that as well.
Yeah, and just to be sort of add that, Reeve, as you sort of said, we do have a healthcare leadership program and also a separate management program as well. So I suppose there's obviously some differences between the two. As I think I said in my presentation, the healthcare leadership program is the program that's been developed jointly by our management school and also our School of Medicine and Health Sciences, and really sort of aimed at people already working within the healthcare sort of profession. The management program is more of a generalist management program applicable to people working really in any industry sector. So just to put that point out there as well, Lavinia.
Thank you so much, Vivi. Thank you so much, Ben. So I do see some further questions in the Q&A box, but I'm afraid our time is running out. So I would ask you, Ben, Stephen, and Vivi, if you have anything else to add for this event. If there are any deadlines that you would like, for example,
just to say, I did see one question, Lavinia, maybe just to finish on. Somebody asked how often we have intakes, and just to say that we have intakes throughout the year. Really sort of three main intakes will be coming up in 2023, one in January, one in May, and one in October. But we don't sort of have just one intake a year. We do have regular intakes coming along every few months. People can make an application at any time, and we can consider that application at any time as well. So people don't have to sort of wait for a particular month to make their application and join. We do accept students throughout the course of the year, just to make that point.
Thank you so much, Ben. So I'm sharing now in the chat the link for anyone who wants to request their certificate of attendance by Docsity. And also, of course, I would like to remind all participants that they will get the recording of this event. And in particular, they will also get all the info required to get in touch with you. And of course, if any questions have gone unanswered, and if you have any specific questions related to your own personal situation, any background information that you would like to communicate to the university staff, please feel free to reach out. You will have all the means to do so. So of course, in the meantime, thank you, Ben, for sharing this. You can visit the online webpage, online.liverpool.ac.uk/contact, or you can visit the application page, online.liverpool.ac.uk/apply. So once again, thank you so much for joining us for this event. And I would like to thank so much Ben Piper, Stephen Livesey, and Rudy Burns for being here with us today and for taking the time out of their day to give us this presentation and to answer all the questions. Once again, thank you so much for connecting, and I do hope to see you once again for the next event in partnership with the University of Liverpool online. Thank you so much. Stay safe.
Thank you so much, Lavinia, and thanks everybody for joining this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Until next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.